Welcome to welcome to Let Us Start Educational Channel. Today our class is on vectors on motion in a plane. What is vector? In last classes we discussed about physical quantities. We discussed about physical quantities. Physical quantities describes the substance or the object. Suppose a pen is this. A pen is there. Suppose that a pen or pencil is here. How much is the length of this pen? Length is a physical quantity. How much is the volume of this pen? How much area of this tip? These are all physical quantities. In last classes we discussed about all these. So the physical quantities, some of the physical quantities are scalars, some are vectors. What do you mean by a scalar? A physical quantity has magnitude. Physical quantity has magnitude. Suppose that a fly is moving like this. It moves from O to P. It moves from O to P. So, how much distance it travels? Distance is the actual length traveled by an object. How can you find out this length? ఏం చేస్తాం ఈ లెంత్ని ఎలా మ్యాచ్ చేస్తామని జిగ్జాగ్గా ఉంటే థ్రెడ్ హెల్ప్ తోటి ఇలాగ ఈ షేప్లో పెట్టుకొని ఆ థ్రెడ్ని తీసుకెళ్ళి మనం స్కేల్ మీద పెట్టుకొని అది లెంత్ ఎంత ఉందో అది దాని యొక్క డిస్టెన్స్ అవుతుంది. అదేమంటాం మనము డిస్టెన్స్. సో suppose that the distance is 10 centimeters. That distance is 10 centimeters. Another one is there. Here the object displaces from O to P. So the shortest distance traveled by the fly, shortest distance, the shortest length, shortest length traveled by an object is displacement. Fly displaces its position from O to P. The fly displaces its position from O to P. In which direction? In this direction. In which direction the fly moves? In this direction. So here the displacement has both magnitude. How much is the magnitude here? Magnitude less than 10 centimeter and it moves in a particular direction. So a scalar has only magnitude. A vector has both magnitude and direction. Both magnitude and direction. So here the fly moves from the point O to P. We represent this direction is like this. This length is called its magnitude. This length is called its magnitude, and this arrowhead represents the direction. Arrowhead represents the direction in which direction the object moves, represented by the arrowhead. So a vector has both magnitude and direction. Generally we feel a physical quantity has both magnitude and direction, that is called vector. It is called vector. A scalar has only magnitude. A scalar has only magnitude. So the fly moves like this. This length is the actual length traversed by the object is distance. So the shortest distance is shortest length traveled by the object is displacement. So at last any physical quantity that has both magnitude and direction is called as a vector. So the magnitude of vector, suppose that the fly moves from O to P. Vector is, or vector representation of vector. Vector is represented like this. A bar. Bar and pattern అర్థం ఏంటి? A is a vector. B bar. X bar. Y bar. I bar. This is the notation of the vector. How can you calculate the magnitude of the vector? Magnitude of vector is suppose the vector is A. The vector is A. Magnitude of is A is equal to modulus of A bar. The symbol is called modulus. So it is the magnitude of vector A or modulus of A bar. Suppose that P is a vector, its magnitude is P. or modulus of p bar, modulus of p bar. So this is the representation of the vector. Next one is a body moves with 10 meter per second. An object or body moves 10 meter per second. Meter per second is the unit of velocity. A body moves 10 meter per second due east. What is the difference between these two? Here just we represent the magnitude number. ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఎంత వెలాసిటీ తోటి మూవ్ అయింది దాని మ్యాగ్నిట్యూడ్ మనం రిప్రజెంట్ చేసాం. ఇక్కడ ఇట్ మూవ్స్ ఇన్ ఈస్ట్ డైరెక్షన్. ఈస్ట్ డైరెక్షన్లో మూవ్ అయింది అని మనము చెప్తున్నాం అన్నమాట. సో దీన్నేమంటాం మనము స్పీడ్, దీన్నేమంటాం మనం వెలాసిటీ, దీన్నేమంటాం మనము velocity. నెక్స్ట్ వచ్చేసి బాడీ మూవ్స్ డ్యూ ఈస్ట్. బాడీ మూవ్స్ డ్యూ ఈస్ట్. సో we represent like this. This is east direction. Body moves due west. This direction represents like this. This is west. Next one is body moves north. This is north direction. Body moves north. Body moves south. We represent the directions like this. Whenever a problem is given, the body moves in each direction. That means it moves in this direction. The body moves north. That means in this direction it moves. The body moves west. That means it moves in this direction. This is the representation of vector in different directions. This is east, this is west, this is north, this is south. So till now discuss about scalars and vectors. Scalar has only magnitude. Distance is a scalar. Speed is a scalar. Volume is a scalar. Just we represent them with the magnitude, with the help of magnitude. A scalar has only magnitude. A fly is moving with in this direction. The actual length of the fly is distance, and the shortest length is displacement. So displacement, it represents the direction. The direction is from O to P. Next one is, how can you represent a vector? A vector is represented by using an arrow. A vector is represented by using an arrow. So here O represents the tail of the vector, P represents head of the vector. O represents the tail of the vector. P represents the head of the vector. So the length of OP is magnitude and arrowhead is direction of that object. So how can you represent a vector? If A is a vector, we represent with A bar. Suppose B is a vector, we represent with B bar. X is a vector, we represent with X bar. Like this, we represent any vector, on its head we keep an arrow. So how can you find out magnitude of vectors? Suppose A is a vector, its magnitude is A or modulus of A bar. A or modulus of A bar. P is a vector, that means P or modulus of P bar. P or modulus of P bar. Next one is a body moves with a speed of 10 meters per second. Here 10 represents the number, that means it is its magnitude. Meter per second represents its speed. That 10 meters per second means the body moves with some speed. It is in motion. So that speed is a scalar. Next, the body moves 10 meters per second due east. That means velocity is given. How can you say velocity is given? Magnitude is given and that object is moves in east direction. So velocity is a vector. Next one is we represent vector directions in east like this, in north like this, in south like this, in west like this. Next one is different vectors are there. Orthogonal vectors. Orthogonal vectors. Orthogonal vectors. We call I, J, K as orthogonal vectors. IJK as orthogonal vectors. So if A is a vector, if its magnitude is modulus of A bar, find out the unit vector of A. Unit vector of A. Unit vector means its magnitude is 1. Unit vector is its magnitude is 1. Any vector, its magnitude is 1. That is called unit vector. IJK are called as orthogonal vectors. So I is in x direction, J is in y direction, K is in Z axis, x, y, z. We call these as orthogonal vectors. So we represent these orthogonal vectors with I cap, J cap, call this as J cap, k cap. What do you mean by I cap? I cap means I cap, j cap, k cap are called as orthogonal vectors. Orthogonal vectors. So next one is null vector. A vector whose magnitude is 0. A vector whose magnitude is 0 is called as null vector. Suppose an object is thrown in upward direction. At its final point, its velocity is 0. Velocity is 0. It is moving in upward direction, but its magnitude is 0. This is null vector. Now we discuss about orthogonal vectors, null vectors and unit vectors. Unit vector is a vector whose magnitude is 1. Null vector, a vector whose magnitude is 0. I cap, j cap, k cap are orthogonal vectors in x, y and z coordinates. Okay. Thank you. Till now we discuss about the vectors. Vectors are most important lesson. We use these vectors in all chapters. So if this is helpful to you, like this channel. Your like is most important for me. Like it, comment it and share it to others. Subscribe to the channel for getting more valuable videos.